Okay, with that in mind, I'd like to introduce our next speaker. Philip Pape is delivering his evaluation and feedback speech number 1 for the Presentation Mastery Path. Have you ever had a big goal? Are you working toward one right now? In his speech, Philip will take you on a journey through the 5 stages of personal transformation and share how we can become more aware and empowered to take control and keep transformation train moving. So let's welcome Philip Pape with his speech, From Guppy to Guru, the 5 stages of accepting your new you. Philip Pape.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. When your boss's boss's boss asks you if you want to lead a project, what's the right answer? Yes. And that's the scenario I found myself in a few months back when our director of product engineering said, hey, Philip, I'd really like you to take the lead of this strategic project. And I thought inside my head, why me? But outwardly, I said, absolutely. Tell me the requirements and we'll go from there. And she said, I want to tell you why I picked you for this leadership role. 2 reasons. The first reason is I think you present very well to executives. And I thought, okay, I can get behind that. I can believe that Toastmasters has equipped me really well over the years to be a more confident speaker, which has opened up the door. But the second reason is I think you're really good at motivating a bunch of different strong personalities to get stuff done. And I thought, wow, I'm really fooling her, aren't I? And then I realized that this was a little touch of imposter syndrome. The idea that others believe in you before you believe in yourself. And when I reflected back, I realized I had been spending years working on this skill of leadership, of taking on more opportunities and challenges. And now I could appreciate that she was appreciating my skill. I realized that the journey of personal transformation is full of stages, and we don't always know where we're at in that journey. But if we can become aware of it, I believe we can take control of that stage to move us into the next and the next until we achieve our goal. So I'd like to take you through these 5 stages. Let's use a simple example that's very relatable to all of us: becoming healthier. This relates to me very well, especially over the last few years, but I know all of us have a goal to lose weight, get stronger, sleep better, get mentally healthy. And that very first phase of personal transformation, we're all familiar with. I call it inspirational impulse. It's when you have the big idea inspired by a New Year's resolution, a picture in an article, the person looking at you in the mirror, or something someone else says. And you say, I'm going to go for that big goal. I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to look great on the beach. I'm going to sleep better. I'm going to eat better. And you start to gather information. You read articles, you download podcasts, you maybe take a course or 2, and you have no problem channeling that energy into the next stage. And the next stage is what I call constrained chaos. Okay, this is where you take all that information and your intent is to put a boundary around it, and out the other end come up with a plan. And a plan is simply a list of steps to get you from here to there, one day at a time. But this is the stage where a lot of folks start to drop out because they get overwhelmed by all the information out there and the million influencers on Instagram and all the courses and the advice people are trying to give you. So what we do in this stage, because we're taking control of the process, is we find somebody else who's been through the journey before whom we trust. This could be a teacher, a coach, a mentor, a colleague, a friend, or even an authority out there who we trust, and maybe we pay for the service. However it happens, they help us come up with those steps. So if you're trying to become healthier, that might be a specific training plan and a specific nutrition plan. Now that you have a plan, you're in probably the top 10% of people trying to transform themselves. And this leads you to phase 3. This is the longest, most difficult, challenging phase of the journey, which I call manufactured motivation. Because at this point, all of your initial excitement has started to wane as the idea gets closer and closer. yet the goal is still just as far out as it always has been. You haven't done anything yet. You haven't seen any results, and it just seems like it's going to be a lot of work. But what we do here in this phase is we make the process enjoyable for ourselves. And we do that not by focusing on the end goal, but by creating micro goals that give us small wins. And I would argue that those wins should come on a daily basis. So if you have a plan and you break that plan down, you might have something like, I'm going to the gym today and I'm doing these exercises and it's 5 pounds heavier than last week. I do it, I'm done, I just won for today. If I fail to do it or something interrupts my life, so what? That's one day that I haven't made progress. I'll do it again tomorrow. Same thing with nutrition. You might have a calorie target for the day, and all of a sudden there's a birthday party and boom, it's gone. So what? You start the next day and you get a win. These wins start to accumulate. You get closer and closer. After about 3 or 4 weeks, you've developed habits that become routine, and you enjoy the process. You may not be even as concerned about the goal at the end. And all of a sudden, one day, somebody gives you a compliment. Hey, I notice you seem to have a lot of energy, or you're looking great. Have you been working out? Or you're very, very productive at work these days. What's going on? And you think to yourself, I'm fooling them, or now they're just being nice. And then someone else says something, and someone else, and someone else. And before you know it, you are in the 4th phase of personal transformation, which I call astonishing affirmation. Others are affirming your results before you believe them yourself, that imposter syndrome. And it can come from anywhere, and it can come when you least expect it, and you might be surprised by it. But when it happens, and it happens multiple times, you think to yourself, there's something there. I'm finally starting to see results from all my hard work, and now you get excited again. The excitement starts to climb, your results start to climb, and you get propelled in that 5th and final stage, which I call purity of purpose. You've taken this seed, planted it. It was just an idea. You've nurtured it through hard work, and it has grown into something of greater value that you can now share with the world. You can now become the teacher, the mentor, the coach that helped you early in the process. And you think to yourself, I just went through all of those steps and I achieved my goal. Therefore, logically speaking, I can do it again. Mr. Toastmaster.
I think we've all been through the stages of projects several times in our lives. Very well thought out and rehearsed and executed speech. And we all appreciate that.